We caught up with some of the former members of Living Nightmare to see how the death of Teddy and the rest of Living Nightmare affected them, where they see their own futures going.
I don't need them. I didn't need them, you know? Okay, it was a little bit rough. I've been in a few different bands. I think
Wade found me. We was outside a bar in St. Louis, actually, just trying to find work where I could find it. You know, I mean, I was kind of in a bad way at the time, but she's like, "Hey, can you lift stuff up?" I'm like, yeah. I mean, I can lift stuff up, sure.
I received the news from our former manager. I got an envelope, and the first thing it said is, "You're no longer the drummer." That hurt a lot. It really did. Gotta be honest, that was what hurt the most.
I mean, they fired me. It was such bullshit because everybody partied. Everybody. Hold on. Here's my drink. And we're rocking. And we're fucking rocking. And we're fucking rolling and rocking. Rolling and rocking. You know, it wasn't just me.
Meeting Wade. We had a class together. We had a study hall. And I just loved her look. I loved the vibe. You know, my parents personally were super square. You know, they wanted me to, dress properly with shirts with collars up to my fucking neck bones.
I imagine it must have been very hard hearing that news 3 some odd years after you'd been kicked out of the band.
You know what was the first thing that really tipped me off to it? I wasn't getting paid. And they weren't letting me drum. It's kind of odd when you're showing up and they're like, "Just load the kit, man." They took my fucking drum kit.
They always made sure that I had what I needed. If I needed the coke, if I needed the ladies, whatever it was, they gave me what I needed.
You know, looking back, I think they were jealous. They were jealous of my talent.
You know, I've always been musically inclined. You know, my parents, they had me in the school band, played the flute. Didn't make me happy, didn't bring me joy. But then Wade was like, "You just need to get your anger and aggression out, man."
They're all jealous.
So she put me on a drum kit. She had a drum kit in her basement. And I just wailed on that thing. And little did I know, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
I got way too involved with refined foods and stuff like that. You get too much sugar and stuff, and then you start losing your eye. And that's what I found out.
These are some of the last relics from from the old days. I got this scarf here. This is a fertility scarf that was given to me from an old medicine woman. We met her somewhere in, I want to say northern Cambodia. That was that was a wild time, I tell you what.
Okay, that is all exaggeration, okay? I just mentioned that I was a mermaid in another life, and I was. That's just a fact. I was a mermaid in another life, and a fiery little thing, and sometimes she came out.
Fish Heads was a great time. It's a shame that Trish and I are not in cahoots anymore. Could have been something great. We could have been something great. Getting emotional thinking about it. She's beautiful, isn't she? Aside from that, bringing it back home. But she and Ricky, I always thought maybe something there. I mean, they're still friends now. What does that say? I'm not one of them. It's fine. Because I got off to do bigger and better things, later on. We were young. We were so young. She was so hot.
But now, my organic farms and stuff like that, I take chickens and I make them fuck, and they have more natural chickens.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. Little boy really wanted to get on stage. I remember I caught hell for that one.
Provide that chicken to Tyson or somebody?
Tyson. Mike Tyson had nothing to do with anything, man. He really didn't know what any of that was about. He took care of birds, that was all it was. No, man, my chickens, I sell them to people that process meat.
I sent this little kid on stage, wheelchair and all. He got too excited. He ended up falling off the stage. It was a real mess. I caught hell for that. I really caught hell for that.
Well, the nightmare ended, I'll tell you that. So I was able to go on to my own thing. You see, now I'm doing progressive hate metal.
So it was all exaggerated, and I was doing a good fucking job. But this mermaid lady kept coming out of me.
It's always a good time when you're around Ginny. Trouble, but a good time. You know, she and I were in a band back in the day. You know, we were called the Poison Staircase. And we put out an album together. You know, it was just the two of us. You know, we shared vocals. You know, I played the drums, obviously, and she had the bass, and she would switch back on lead guitar, and then we just had one guy on the harmonica.
Singing, I did ukulele, I happen to do drums. People know about that already.
You never see fucking Ninja Turtles.
She doesn't rock like Ginny, you know? I kept trying to impress her.
We had a really great time putting that record together, but man, things got out of hand fast. No one really got the record, you know? I mean, it definitely, you know, low production value. I think she would agree. I think we're both still pretty proud of that work. We did it together, and the harmonica guy.
Then I did the electric guitar, then I did the electric acoustic guitar, then I did the tuning fork. A lot of people weren't expecting that one, man.
The one.
Ralph and Jack Hayes, the drummer of
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, that was fucked up.
The recorder, you know, little kids thing, I did the clarinet, I did the English clarinet, then I did the violin, then I did the cello, then I did the extra bass cello, which is a detuned version of the cello.
Jack Hayes, Ralph and Jack Hayes. He, you know, it was tragic. It was real tragic. You know, we heard about his, heard about his passing, and he bequeathed to me this drumstick.
The kazoo, we did the long kazoo, which actually has a deeper resonance, and then we took the piano, then we did the piano without legs. It was like that Beethoven shit, so like you hear your own music only through your vibration.
He left it to me because he said reminded him of me, and that time we were at that show in Regina, Saskatchewan.
And we did detune and we did tune drumming. Then we did guitar tuning, and sometimes we dropped it from a D to an E to an F. There was even one point where we did G. You didn't really hear anything, but the dogs will appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't remember a show up there. I mean, maybe he was thinking about someone else. I don't know, but either way, it's a nice way to remember. Keeps them close, you know.
Took a beer can, we hollowed it out, right, man? So we cut the top off, and then we turn it upside down. We put a synthesizer string right through it, so that's where the speaker plays through, and you hit the keys with your fucking face, man, and that's where you get the weirdest noises from. It's like the 70s met the 80s, and then fuck the 90s. That's what it was. The biggest thing about it all, though, was the triangle, man. Somebody came in and was able to click that bitch, and you know who that somebody was? Me.
I'm on, baby.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Titty jam.
Titty jammers.
Titty jammers.
Titty jammers.
Titty jammers. Titty jammers. Titty jammers.
Titty jam.
Yo kids, smoking's really bad for you. But it tastes really good, I know, but it's really bad for you. So, keep it down to like a pack a day if you can.
You know you're in a band with a bunch of dead fuckers, right?
And you know why they're dead? Cause, well...
They got hit by fucking lightning. It's not because of smoking.
Yeah, he's got a point, kids. I guess, don't get hit by lightning.
Smoke it up, kids. Do whatever the fuck you want. I could care less.